So, hello everyone, my name is Alexandra Kováčová and I prepared a presentation about my work experience in Portugal. This work experience could not happen without the Erasmus Plus project that supports education and youth in Europe, and also without the Braga mob, which provided us with many cultural experiences and transportation between our accommodation and our workplace. So let's start from the beginning with the preparation. The first task we had to do was write our CV and motivational letter, as you can see on the pictures, and we sent them to our teachers. The next step was the exam, where we had grammar exercises, also listening and reading comprehension, and then a selection of students went to the interview with our teachers.
1 month before going to Portugal, we had English preparation, which was 6 days long, and we had to stay 2 hours after our classes at school. Throughout our English preparation, we actually learned how to pack effectively, how to travel by plane, useful phrases in workplace, what to do in cases of injury, customs and habits in the workplace, traditions in Portugal.
Students were divided into 2 groups. The first group was gathered in Šurany at around 4:15 a.m., including myself. From Šurany we headed to Nové Zámky by bus to collect the second group, and from Nové Zámky we went to Wien Airport, and from Wien Airport we departed by plane to Porto Airport, and from Porto Airport we took a bus to Braga.
This was the company that me, Andrej, and the other Andrej worked in. It's called Aplica Proposta LDA. It's also called Braga Mob. It was founded in 2012 and the head office is in Braga. They have 3 departments: logistics, internship and administrative. They are partners in more than 70 awarded good practice examples.
Which is a tiny accounting office in the heart of Braga, more specifically at Elgo de Santa Cruz 35. It was really small, as you can see on the picture. It was just this small room, and then the small office of Cristina Pinto, which was the CEO of the company, and then there was Sylvie working, which was the only other employee, and she was very kind. She really helped us with a lot of tasks. Although Cristina Pinto was our mentor, she was very busy, so she didn't have a lot of time. Next up, the main services the office offers are financial management of businesses. So like they manage orders, invoices, incomes, how they spend the money, if they spend it right, and the billing. Then, of course, accountants, and here are some of the businesses they work for. So they manage their money matters. Assistabem is a residential maintenance service that creates and plans interiors, as you can see here. This is one of these. It's very pretty. Then Paus Café, which is a restaurant and cafe house, and Fabulosos Instantes.
So about Bogalha, it was founded in 1986 by social security workers, and it started off as a kindergarten and after-school care, and later they provided other services like social support, daycare and nursery. It was located in Rua Alvaro Doria 33, and a fun fact about the name of the organization. So Bogalha is an old word for football, which was used when the founder was a child, so it's like a contribution to the founders.
Well, there is not a lot to talk about it due to the fact that it was established this year and there is only one employee, and that was the founder of the company, and that was João Conqueiro. It's a web design company. They offer quality websites, customization and technical assistance, and web maintenance and services.
I don't know why I thought it would be a music
Yeah, well, the company still does not have an address, like a stable address. That's why the company was assigned under a music school. So, but this is a promo.
Speak about it and you're not showing.
Yeah, so this is a promo post we did on the sale that was on the eShop. And then here is the introductory post that we posted on social media.
The primary values of the company are seriousness and honesty, which should be primary values of all businesses, in my opinion. Their motivation is to translate market analysis into knowledge and understand customers' desires and requirements through the knowledge they gain through the research. The activities of the company include renting apartments, property management. They also sell apartments and property development, which means construction of properties on the land they buy, and property investment, which means renovation of the property, and then they gain profit from this renovation. This is the organizational structure. So the manager was Filipa. She was also our mentor. Well, then there were real estate agents João and Isabella, and secretary Mariana, and then us interns. We've had communication barrier with Filipa and other colleagues, so we mostly spoke. João was the only person in the whole company that was able to have sufficient conversation with us. So he was the only one who understood English, so João was the one who gave us all of our tasks.
The company, the school where I worked with Vanessa, so it's located on this address and it's a public school. It's only a second grade elementary school, so the kids had only from 10 to 15 years old.
So as I said, the remaining 3 days we worked at the library. So these were the books that we had to arrange in an alphabetical order. These were our colleagues in the library. This was Eduardo and this was Carla. Unfortunately, Carla didn't speak any English, so we had to use Google Translate in order to communicate with her when we wanted to go to lunch and basic stuff. This was the library itself, so they had well, couple of TVs. This was the main one, and I really liked about the library that the students in their break could come into the library anytime, rent a book and just read it, or they could even rent a movie and they could watch it in the library, which was really interesting for me because I've never seen it at a school. Kids just loved coming to the library and just talk to the librarian Carla because she was a very sweet woman, and the kids were also very sweet. And
what time did they visit?
Well, they were visiting at like really random times. I even asked like how their classes are. They told me that their classes last to 50 minutes, but sometimes there were kids in the library while others were studying, so I never figured it out quite that how it works.
First day at work, we just were given a short introduction. They told us about our working hours, which were we were working for 6 hours every day from 10 a.m. and we had an hour and a half lunch break. Sylvia gave us some tasks, such as I was archiving documents into folders, I was checking the NIF, which is the tax identification number from the receipts. Then I was sorting out receipts, as you can see on these pictures, according to date, and also I was categorizing invoices into 3 groups of invoices, receipts, and invoice receipts.
Our task was to develop a marketing strategy for their upcoming brand Villas Interiores, and if we were able and had some time, we could produce some ideas for their luxury candle brand, which they were launching also. The first thing I did was a little bit of market research. I researched the Portuguese furniture market through some websites and researched their biggest competitors that were listed for us, which were Sanimaya and Casa do Pasadico. And we, together with Alexa, researched the most frequently used communication channels and target audience, which was later used for her work in social media.
Our
task there included compiling list of apartments for sale into Excel spreadsheet, and then also compiling list based on client requirements. We received requirements from Zhao, and based on that we searched the websites. Some of these requirements were usually about the type of apartments that they were looking for, so how many bedrooms they wanted, and also if it had a garage or a balcony or on which floor it is, and of course the location and price range.
We also done few Excel sheets, and here's a sample of one. And company will fill the chart according to their needs, because here are packages of their services, and there will be also put prices for their services, and each of this package has its own advantages. We also made presentations, and here's a sample of relocation. It was again a part of marketing, and it's presented to clients. And also we had to do a research about this so we could make a presentation. Here is a sample of my presentation that I done.
Skills I acquired and achievements. So I needed to learn how to express myself not in my English, but in the A1, A2 level English, which is really hard to me to explain myself in that English because I talk really fast. But I needed them to understand what I was asking. I learned to work more with Excel because I don't really work with it. To cooperate, to be more flexible in tasks since my working hours were from 10 to 6:30, but I had a 2.5-hour break. I learned to work for a long period of time because when I came back from my afternoon shift, then I was working for 4 hours. To be able to move around a new unknown to me country, and to be able to manage time management more wisely. And I also really stepped out of my comfort zone because a part of Erasmus Plus is to meet new people. And so I kind of, well actually it wasn't me that started the conversation, but I met really interesting Portuguese people. I made a Portuguese friend, and also I was talking with people from our hotel, like the Croatians. So
it was a multicultural experience.
Yes, we're in contact to this day. So, so analyzing the strengths and the weaknesses. So my strengths are that I'm a really fast learner. I'm able to communicate fluent English. I'm able to calculate in Excel, and I'm good at managing plans and social media in general. And my weaknesses is that I'm really quiet at first, usually like the first 10 minutes, but yeah. Lack of knowledge about the company, because my company has changed literally the day I came there. I'm not so good at concentrating for a long time. Like, I have a problem in school for 45 minutes, so it was hard to concentrate for 4 hours on my work. And I was not so good at communicating because of the language issues, because they didn't understand me.
What have I learned? I got better at time management, especially in the work-related things. My talking skills are greater than they have been before I went to Portugal, because for the whole period of time, for the 2 weeks, I had to speak English in work, in restaurants, like almost everywhere where I went.
Even in the hotel?
Yeah, even in the hotel, because there were some other students.
And the common language was English.
Yeah, of course. I gained more confidence, knowledge and skills. By confidence, I mean I didn't know it by myself that I could do certain tasks so fast and so efficient. Yeah, so yeah, that was great. And I learned a lot about Portugal because our tour guide was really good and talkative, and she told us almost everything we needed to hear.
So my cultural experience, so here I compared Portugal to Slovakia, some similarities, public transport. So I tried the public transport in Braga, and it was the same as in Slovakia. You just pay the standard fee, €0.55,
and then when you want to stop at a stop, you push the stop button and then you just walk out. So just like in Slovakia. And also like in Slovakia, one bus was late and the other one didn't come at all. So exactly like Slovakia. Also the grocery prices, they surprised me because they were fairly the same, but they had much more variety of the products. And then difference is they only had one soup, which was a vegetable soup, and sometimes they would add some different vegetables to it, like carrot or spinach, but it was just one and it was just the same one. And architecture, they had tiles on the buildings. They put the tiles on the buildings because of the ocean air, because the ocean air can damage the facade of the building. And interesting facts about Portuguese people, they're always late, like minimum of 50 minutes late. Even to open a shop, they're late. And also, which surprised me, was that Portuguese people have bad English. Even tour guides, they don't speak very good English, which you would expect from a tour guide. And also cashiers, they don't understand basic English. So it was very surprising, but if you wanted to order some food, they would just give you a menu and you could just point out what you want.
These are the trips. So we went to Braga on our first day when we arrived. We visited the Lady of Arsamero sanctuary, the sanctuary of Bom Jesus do Monte, Arco da Porta Nova, and Se de Braga. Then we went to, on the second day, we went to Porto. We visited Porto Sao Bento station. It has a beautiful mural, and Igreja e Torre dos Cleringos. And we also took
had to learn the pronunciation of these places.
Yeah, and
so you can now speak a little Portuguese.
Yes. And we also took a boat ride. Okay, and we also went on the second week, we went to Lisbon. Second weekend, yeah. We visited Mosteiro dos Jerónimos, the Belém Tower, Padrao dos Descobrimentos, and when we were heading back, we also visited Fatima, the Basilica of Our Lady of the Rosary of Fatima. And on Sunday, on Sunday, yes, we visited Viana do Castelo, the Sanctuary of Sacred Heart of Jesus, and we also visited the Atlantic Ocean.
Fatima is here. On our way back from Lisbon, we went to Fatima. We only saw one building, but it was a large complex of buildings actually. It's called Sanctuary of Fatima, and we were there during the sunset, so this is before the sunset and after the sunset. During the sunset, we also heard the bells ring. Fun fact. We went to Restaurant Bia for dinner and then back to Braga.
On our last day, we had a farewell dinner and received our certificates. It was a farewell dinner which was organized by Braga Mob, and there were other schools there as well, because we were not the only ones participating in a short-term mobility. And on the right, there's my certificate, which I took a photo of.